Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? That's Saturn's energy in our life. In today's video, I am diving into one of the most important transits happening in 2023, and that is Saturn moving into the zodiac sign of Pisces. This is going to be a brand new chapter, a brand new lesson learning period, as Saturn is our tough love dad, and he does bring us those things in life that can be kind of a challenge. But this is going to become with a little bit of relief, as Saturn has been in the last 6 years in his home signs, where he's really been able to teach us hard lessons, give us a lot of struggles, but that's going to get a little easier as he moves into Pisces. We're going to talk all about why in this video. You know I'm going to give you all the details, dates that you're going to want to pay attention to, energy that you can expect, shifts and changes in your life that may come up for you, and of course, what our dear tough love dad is just trying to teach us. So grab a pen and paper. We're going to dive in this video. If you have your 2023 astrology retrograde journal, you can go ahead and open it up to page 44 and 45, which is the pages for Saturn's retrogrades. In the astrology journal, I do introduce you to tough love dad Saturn and what is his role in the astrology for us. I talk about his retrograde and what happens when he enters the zodiac sign of Pisces. So you can find all of that as a preview here, and in this video you can go ahead and take even further notes. If you don't have a copy of your astrology journal, you can still grab one. I have them still available for sale. Just head to the description box below and I will send it out to you right away. So let's buckle up and talk about Saturn moving into the zodiac sign of Pisces. Now, before we can really talk about what this is even going to mean for us, let's go ahead and first understand Saturn. I'm going to be the messenger today between Saturn, our tough love dad, and you. So I'm going to kind of interpret and give you the cheat sheet of what he's here to do for us energetically as our soul goes through this lifetime. Now, Saturn as a planet is very cold, it's very harsh, it's very rigid. And so energetically, that is the energy he brings into our life. I call him our tough love dad because his purpose energetically is to force us to grow, force us to mature. He's really an acquired taste because we all kind of hate that paternal energy that's like, did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? That's Saturn's energy in our life. And the reason he nags us and pushes us and challenges us is because he wants us to mature. He wants us to step into power and authority and responsibility. But we don't typically want to do that as humans, right? We want life to be roses and butterflies and fun and romantic and just easy. But that's not how our soul will grow. If your life is easy and roses and butterflies, you're never going to change. You're just going to love it the way it is. So Saturn steps in as the disciplinarian, as the planet of energy that is going to bring you challenges, obstacles, limitations. That tough love dad energy. That's like, I just want you to have more discipline, more structure, more commitment, more boundaries, right? I want you to be your own tough love dad, your own parent. And so when Saturn comes around, it can be a challenging time. And I really feel like his transit into Pisces is going to bring a new lesson for us in very different ways than he's been able to teach us the last 6 years. So Saturn rules over the part of the sky, the constellation of Capricorn and Aquarius. And so he currently is in the zodiac sign of Aquarius since December of 2020. And before that, in 2018 until 2020, he was in his home sign of Capricorn. So for the last 6 years, the lessons he's been able to teach us have come with a lot of strength. Now, as he moves into the zodiac sign of Pisces, he is not going to be able to be in his full power. He does not actually enjoy being in Pisces. And we'll talk about why later on in this video. But know with Saturn, not only is he our tough love dad, but we also call him Lord Karma. Because in order for us to grow, sometimes we have to feel the consequences, right? Tough love dads give us consequences. So think of it this way. If your tough love dad is like, did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? Did you do your homework? It feels like they're nagging. You're like, get off my back, right? But if you do your homework, you get rewarded. Your parents will take you out for ice cream. If you get an A on a test, you get to go shopping and pick out your favorite toy, right? You get rewarded for your karma, your good hard work. But if you avoid your homework and you get Fs, usually you fail that grade or you fail that class and you have to redo it, and that karma, that discipline, can be maybe you get grounded for the weekend, or maybe you don't get to go on the family vacation, right? So Saturn is Lord Karma, giving us rewards and giving us punishments. But if we do the right thing, if we step up, and that's what I'm going to help you with in this video, is knowing his lessons and what he's trying to teach you over the next 2.5 years, so you get the rewards that he benefits us with as he's Lord Karma. In addition to that, we call Saturn the taskmaster because he's going to keep you on track. He's going to hold you accountable. He's going to help you energetically take on more responsibility, but with that comes more discipline, right? Getting things in order. He really likes to build things with a strong and sturdy foundation. That's why he moves so slow, spending 2.5 to 3 years in a zodiac sign, meaning he's spending 2.5 and 3 years in a certain area of your life. Every single area of your life fits into one of the 12 zodiac signs. And so as Saturn moves from one zodiac sign to the next in a 3-year period, he parks his butt in an area of your life for that amount of time, teaching you lessons, helping you grow, and again, helping you take on a strong, stable, and sturdy foundation that has more commitments, more boundaries, more things that you desire to build upon in your life. And after about 28.5 years, Saturn goes around the entire sky, the entire astrological wheel, hitting every single area of your life. And when he gets back to the zodiac sign he was in on the day of your birth, we call that a Saturn return. That is a major up-level moment in your life. And if you currently were going through your Saturn return, as Saturn has been in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, you can understand how challenging of a period this is as you really up-level in your life, as you're really called by our tough love dad, by Lord Karma, by the taskmaster, to grab your life by the horns and to determine where you need to step up. Where in your life do you need more structure, more discipline, more commitment, more responsibility, more authority, right? That's what he's going to do in our life. And the one thing with Saturn is he loves to create rules. So he is definitely one of those energies that likes to put things in a box, that creates structure, that builds things, that makes it make sense. So the benefit is with that is if you have an area of your life that's a little chaotic, let's say, he will come in and organize that and restructure it for you. And that leads us to his journey into Pisces, because Pisces energy is very fluid, very boundaryless. It doesn't like rules. It doesn't have limitations. And with that, we really need to understand Pisces energy, because when Saturn moves into Pisces, he is going to be like, what the hell is going on here? Like I said, he doesn't particularly like being in Pisces. So this will be a complete energetic shift from him being able to pump us with lessons and challenges and obstacles since 2018, where he was just journeying through his 2 home signs. Now, if you were born when Saturn was in Pisces, I will put the dates in the description box below. Then you are about to go into your Saturn return starting on March 7th. And I will make a completely separate video for you because there is a lot to learn during your Saturn return. And as it's in Pisces, it's even more specific and unique to you. So we will circle back to that in another video. Now, let's talk about Pisces energy real quick so we can talk about what we can expect as Saturn moves through this area of the sky. Pisces is a water energy, first and foremost, and it's very fluid. It's a feminine energy, so it's all about our emotions and empathy and compassion. I call Pisces the Jesus-like energy because it's really about the metaphysical, the spirituality, the ability to kind of love unconditionally, to forgive people, this boundless kind of energy that can flow every which way and everywhere all the time. And so this energy is very like ethereal, very unexplainable. And when Saturn moves in here, he's like, what the heck? Where's the rules? Where's the boundaries? Like, we need to like mask and tape this off. So Pisces is just not in that energy of structure and routine and discipline and commitment. Instead, Pisces is very dreamy, very romantic. It is ruled by the planet Neptune. And Neptune is all about living in la la land, living in fantasy land. See, Neptune is the landlord here. And so he rules over this part of the sky that Saturn's about to enter. And Saturn's going to have to share space with Neptune. Neptune has been in Pisces since 2019. and he's not been in Pisces for 165 years. So Neptune is finally home. He's the landlord here. He's been living it up. And wherever Pisces falls in your birth chart, that area of life is probably an area of life where you like to kind of have a little bit of illusion around. You like to kind of not bring awareness to it. You kind of have these rose-colored glasses. Maybe it's a little foggy, a little hazy. It's just kind of there, right, in that like energetic space. Saturn's going to come in and rip off those glasses and help you see it clearly. Now, Saturn's stepping in and is like, hold up, let's kind of rearrange this. You have dreams, but they're not coming to life because you're not having structure around them. You're not doing the tough love dad things that you need to do for your dreams to actually come to reality. And so this is beautiful energy because where Pisces gives us the ability to actually believe, to dream, to manifest that one day we could live on a yacht in the Mediterranean. But sitting in our room just dreaming about it isn't going to bring it into reality. Saturn is the planet of bringing manifestations to our life. And this is going to be beautiful. And as Saturn does that, Neptune is going to be here. So there's going to be this energetic kind of play on each other, which will be really interesting for us to feel. In addition to that, Pisces rules over our energetic health. That is going to be anything from our mental health to our energetic bodies, like our aura, our chakras, those kind of things. It rules over our subconscious. And with our subconscious, that is old programming, that is old thought patterns, that is limiting self-beliefs, not feeling worthy, not believing that this is meant for you, all those things. Pisces also rules our spirituality, meaning your religion, what you believe in, the way that you practice your spirituality, or your lack of belief in religion or spirituality. Pisces rules over things behind the scenes. So are there things in your life that you don't want to share, like secrets, or a project you've been working on, or a dream that you've had for a very long time, but nobody knows because you haven't done anything about it? So Pisces rules all things behind the scenes. And in society, that really includes the things that are kind of hidden from the bigger population. So that's going to be things like jails, hospitals, mental institutions, long-term care facilities for the elderly, all those things that we don't really want to see in society, so we kind of put it behind the scenes. Last thing is Pisces rules over drugs and alcohol, things that are addictive, things that create self-sabotage, because Pisces is such a sensitive energy that there's this sense of, I don't want to feel that, so I'm going to escape, because that's too much for me to deal with. So the area of our life that deals with our addictions, our self-sabotaging, our reliance on things like drugs and alcohol and shopping and gambling, right? Those secret kind of things that we're using to cope with the subconscious beliefs that we have, to cope with our feelings and our sensitivities, to cope with our mental health. That is also the area of life that Pisces rules over. So Saturn's going to come in and address those areas. Pisces is the final zodiac sign. It is the 12th and ending sign of the zodiac calendar, meaning we always start over with Aries. The astrological new year begins when the sun moves into Aries. Aries is the first zodiac sign. Pisces is the last. So anytime a planet transits and moves through the zodiac sign of Pisces, it's a huge energetic reset, a period of purging, of clearing, releasing, of ending things in our life as we prepare for that planet moving into Aries, giving us a brand new energetic reset. So as Saturn moves through Pisces, he is going to bring attention to and highlight and challenge us to let go of some things. Let go of some things that no longer serve us, that are holding us back from stepping into that next chapter, right? As he's going to help our manifestations come to light, as he's going to challenge you to step into some more responsibility, as he's going to help you expand and create a stronger foundation. But I want you to remember the areas of life that Pisces rules for us, because this is where Saturn is stepping in to bring more discipline, more restructuring, stronger foundations. Challenges, obstacles, and limitations can all show up in these areas of our life because Pisces rules over this area of our life. So I'm going to kind of move in now to the dates you're going to want to pay attention to as Saturn moves through the zodiac sign of Pisces. So again, grab out your retrograde calendar or take some notes. Very important things to kind of pay attention to over the next 2.5 years. First things first. Saturn moves into the zodiac sign of Pisces, where he has not been since 1996. You were born during that time frame. You were born with a Saturn in Pisces, and again, you are about to go into your Saturn return. If you were born after 1996, you've never experienced Saturn in Pisces in your birth chart. So this is going to be a brand new energy in your life where Saturn's going to help you grow and up level in that you haven't gotten to experience yet. Now, Saturn is currently in the zodiac sign of Aquarius, where he's been since December of 2020. And as we move closer and closer to March 7th, Saturn is going to move into the last degree of Aquarius, which is 29 degrees of Aquarius. When he gets to 30, he starts over in the next zodiac sign, Pisces, at 0 degrees. So if you're watching this video before March 7th, know that Saturn is in his final degree point. We call this an aneteric degree, meaning it's that planet's last chance to hammer you with any lessons because he's about to leave Aquarius and not come back for 30 years. So just pay attention to that energy. Now we get to March 7th and he begins anew in Pisces at 0 degrees, and he is going to have this new beginning, a new lesson learning opportunity. Something to note, again, in your retrograde astrology journal, you will notice that on March 7th, on that same exact day that Saturn moves into Pisces, we're going to have a full moon. And that full moon is in Virgo because the sun is in Pisces and the moon will be directly opposite in the zodiac sign of Virgo. So we're going to have this full moon on March 7th. Saturn's going to move into Pisces where the sun is on March 7th, and he's going to help support that full moon. Remembering, full moons are releasing, full moons are letting go. And that's going to be the final chapter of us being able to kind of clear out space for Saturn to come in. Now, the energy of Virgo is the opposite of Pisces. Virgo is like Earth, practical, realistic, organized, structured, analytical, solving problems, like living in reality versus living in fantasy or virtual reality. And again, if you have your retrograde journal, you're going to open up to page 24 with that full moon in Virgo, and you will see that this is all about releasing negative habits and routines that are blocking you. Virgo is all about our day-to-day. What do you do on a daily basis to stay physically well? Pisces is about our energetic health, our mental health, our spiritual health, our chakras, all of that. So where are you self-sabotaging? Where can you let go of negative habits and negative routines that are not allowing you to move up in your vibration, move up into your spiritual energetic body? Because Saturn's going to be addressing that. So pay attention to that energy. I will do an entire video on that full moon in Virgo and how Saturn is influencing it as we get closer to that date, but just something that you're going to want to pay attention to. Now, when Saturn moves on March 7th into Pisces, he's going to go from 0 degrees of Pisces, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 degrees of Pisces, where he will turn around in retrograde. So if you have any planets in your birth chart from 0 to 7 degrees of Pisces, Saturn is going to cross that planet 3 times in 2023 and into 2024. By the time we get to June 7th, that's when he begins his retrograde. So Saturn's going to move from March 7th to June 7th through 0 to 7 degrees of Pisces, and then he will retrograde on June 7th back to 0 degrees of Pisces. And by the time we get to November 4th of 2023, Saturn's going to be right back at the beginning where he started on March 7th. Now, this is very interesting astrologically because a lot of planets move into a new zodiac sign where they move maybe to 10 degrees, 12 degrees, whatever degrees, and then they retrograde back. But it's very rare that a planet enters a zodiac sign and retrogrades back to 0. So when I see this as an astrologer, and I know that Tough Love Dad, our life coach Saturn, is here to teach us lessons, to challenge us, and he's Lord Karma, his retrogrades are lesson learning periods where he says, you know what, I'm gonna step back, I'm gonna watch you, I'm gonna see how responsible you are, I'm gonna see where you are in this area of your life, and he's going to assess. He's not going to teach us any hard lessons off the bat. He's going to use his retrograde to kind of step back energetically and just see what you do. See where you're at in those Pisces area of your life, and more specifically within your birth chart, where that falls in your day-to-day. And then by November 4th, as he's back at 0, that's when he's going to get to work. That's when he's going to get into Lord Karma mode and reward or punish. I have to know how hard I have to teach you. See, if you come home every day and do your homework and I don't have to say a word, then it's easy, right? But if I watch you and I notice you're getting Fs and you're not doing what you're supposed to do and you forgot that assignment, now I got to step in, right? And I got to step in with consequences. So in 2023, wherever Pisces falls in your birth chart and in those areas of life that we mentioned, you get a free pass. You get an opportunity to really get to work, to learn those lessons. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. But just on a calendar-wise, on an energy-wise, and planning out your year, this is something to really pay attention to. Now, as we move on, Saturn is going to be in Pisces from March 7th of this year all the way until May of 2025. When we get to May of 2025, he is going to move into Aries, but he's going to retrograde back into Pisces. So we're still going to get some lessons. We're still going to get some challenges all the way until 2026. So this is going to be an energy that's going to be a little long lasting. And as he moves into Pisces now in 2023, Neptune's going to be there. And Neptune's going to be there the entire time. So their energy is going to play off of each other. Neptune's going to be like, dude, dream, have, more romance in your life. Come on, live in la la land. Like, believe it's possible. Believe your manifestation. And Saturn's coming in that's like, yeah, that's great, but like, you got to do something to get the things. You got to restructure your mindset. You got to restructure your subconscious. You got to have more faith. You got to have a spiritual belief. You got to heal your energetic body. And so they're going to play on each other. It's not until 2026 that Saturn and Neptune are actually going to run into each other. And what's magical about that, like I said, Pisces is the last zodiac sign. So anytime a planet moves through Pisces and enters Aries, it's a whole reset. The last zodiac sign starting over at the first. Now, when Neptune finally leaves Pisces and enters Aries after 165 years, is the same time that Saturn leaves Pisces and enters Aries after 30 years. So they actually get together, they actually touch in the sky at 0 degrees of Aries. Now this is very important to us right now, even though that doesn't happen until 2026, 0 degrees of Aries in 2023 is going to be the astrological new year on March 20th. And on that exact same day, in 2023, we're having a new moon in Aries. Now, if you all know, I talk a lot about Aries energy in all my astro videos right now because Aries is that area of the sky that's already getting a lot of attention with Jupiter being there right now. But once we get to March, that Aries area of our life is going to start popping off. And it's popping off all the way until 2026 with Neptune and Saturn meeting up. Now this is, I'd say, once in a lifetime alignment, but it's actually like a once in many, many lifetimes that Saturn and Neptune meet up in Aries, and they're going to meet up at 0 degrees of Aries. On March 20th of this year, the astrological new year begins with the sun moving into 0 degrees of Aries with a new moon on that exact same day. Now in 2023, we're going to have 2 new moons in Aries. The second new moon in Aries is an eclipse. So this is an energy that is, we are leading up to that reset. Remember, Aries is the new beginning, a new reset, leaving Pisces behind. So as we get out of 2023, Saturn's getting closer to Neptune. Their energies entwining. We're going to go through this retrograde this year that's going to allow us to reset, to really make moves this year and learn Saturn's lessons. So they're not as challenging in 2024 and 2025. When we get into 2024, Saturn's going to be challenged with Jupiter, right? He was in a fight with Uranus the last couple years. I've been talking about that for a while. When they are in a fight, it's called a square, where Saturn's like, nope, you need structure, authority, rules, discipline, all that Saturn stuff, tough love dad energy. And then Uranus was like, liberate, freedom, rebel, do what you want to do. Like, we feel this energy, right? Like, I want to break out of the shackles of corporate America. I want to live life on my own terms. But then the traditional tough love dad Saturn is like, how are you going to pay your bills? What are you going to do? You're not going to have a home if you just leave and quit your job. That's what we've been dealing with. But by the time we get out of this year into 2024, Saturn's going to be in a fight with Jupiter. who's like, have more faith, have more belief, like dream it, believe it's possible, right? Learn new things, go on adventures, try something new. The world is your oyster. And so again, Saturn's lessons the next couple years are not going to be as challenging as long as we are paying attention to what we're supposed to be doing. Now, when we get into 2025, that's really where it all clicks into place. So it begins now, but by 2025, it starts clicking. Because in 2025, as we start that year and Saturn's final journey through Pisces, we have Saturn, like I said, moving closer to Neptune, but the eclipses begin, meaning the north node of destiny also enters Pisces. So eclipses bring with them fated destined events, things that are meant for us, getting us back on track. So things are really going to shift in 2025. And then in 2026, with Neptune and Saturn moving into Aries, after all this Aries energy that we're dealing with right now, it's going to be massive, major on a personal level, major on society's level, a new beginning, really exciting energy. So with that, I'm going to end this video with what we can expect personally and collectively. So let's go ahead and start out with the 4 things that Saturn is probably going to bring structure to in our society moving forward as he enters into Pisces. Number 1, Saturn is probably going to bring more structure to virtual reality. So the internet, to living in these metaverses and things, again, ethereal, not real. Pisces, again, is that like energetic space of dreams and illusion and of fantasy. So Saturn's going to come in and bring more structure to that. That could be more structure as far as how much time you spend in the metaverse, how it's going to be set up. So we're going to kind of see that illusion of tech and virtual reality kind of make more sense, because I think a lot of us kind of get it, like even crypto and NFTs and virtual things like of money. It's like, I don't really get it, right? Like, how's that even going to work? Well, Saturn's going to come in and bring structure around that, right? Like create the rules around it to make more stability around it, so it makes sense for us in our reality. The second thing I see Saturn bringing structure to is videography and the arts, because Pisces is a very creative energy and it rules over music and entertainment and artists and film and all of those things. So I really see Saturn coming in and bringing more structure to those things, in the sense of Hollywood. You know, we're kind of seeing the crumbling of Hollywood, and Saturn's going to come in and expose like the foundations, the cracks. Like, this is a area of life that's going to need some restructuring, right? So we can see that along with like video and filming content and, you know, YouTube and people making videos versus Hollywood making videos. So Saturn's going to come in and again challenge those things and make structure around what we can post and not in the creative artistic world. Also, we're going to probably see some structure coming to religion. This is very important because Pisces is the sign of spirituality and religion. So that's going to be very personal to every person, helping us have more structure. And what does spirituality mean to me? How does that work in my life? So having more structure around that, meaning how is that going to play out in your day-to-day? Do you sit down to meditate more? Do you make more time for church? Restructuring the churches, right? Is it going to be churches of different opinions? Is it going to be a different structure and expanding to, you know, different communities that were maybe excluded from the churches? There's just going to be a lot more resetting of the foundation and bringing a lot more clarity to our personal beliefs and spirituality and to religion at large. So something really interesting and in your life that would definitely be something I would start focusing on. How can you bring that structure into your life? Where are you maybe lacking a connection to a higher source? Now that can be whatever works for you, right? Buddha, God, your higher self, your angels, spirit guides, whatever. But as we move forward, there's going to be this need of guidance, of understanding, of intuition, right? Connection to a source higher than ourselves, to help us navigate and move into the next chapter. And Saturn's really going to bring that energy to religion and spirituality. Also, how we can practice, what we're allowed to practice. You know, that's going to be something as he brings in more rules to religion and how religions can function as nonprofits, how they can function in public schools. You know, are people allowed to bring tarot cards to school? Like those kind of things. So a lot of restructuring and rules and limitations. And lastly, the fourth thing I see Saturn bringing a lot more structure around is drugs and psychedelics and plant medicine, because Pisces rules over the fantasy world. It rules over the energetic world, and it rules escapism and addictions and alcohol and all these substances and things that we use to get to a higher consciousness, that we use to elevate our energy or to change our energy. And this has been something in society that's becoming more popular, right? As people are wanting to try more plant medicine, as prescription drugs are kind of changing, right? So there's just a lot of rules and structure that's going to have to go around all of these things. And we're going to see as Saturn moves into Pisces over the next 2.5 years that there is going to be a lot more limitations or containment or structuring of how we can use them, when to use them, and what that looks like in society moving forward. Limit the access to them, limit the use of them, limit the way in which we use them. So that's something to pay attention to. What are some lessons that you need to be focusing on? What Saturn's trying to teach you over his journey in the next 3 years, and what you can kind of get a head start on before he gets into his retrograde. So first things first, Pisces rules addiction and escapism. So really assessing in your life, where are you trying to run and escape? Where are you having these addictive or negative habits that are self-sabotaging you? Because Saturn is going to highlight that. Saturn's going to give you a lesson if you engage in these kind of activities. So maybe you've always been able to get away with like a shopping spree, you know, when you're not feeling good. But now, maybe when you go on that shopping spree as Saturn's in Pisces, he's going to be like, look at the consequences, Lord Karma, this is what's going to happen to you, right? You're not going to be able to pay your bills. And instead of your landlord always being chill, he might be like, sorry, you got to get out, right? So forcing you to face how you are trying to escape your reality, how you're trying to numb, how you're trying to self-sabotage. So I'd really start trying to identify where you maybe are your own worst enemy, especially when it comes to your subconscious mind. Also, we can really expect Saturn to be collectively and personally trying to move you away from using these escapism drugs like alcohol, weed, whatever it might be, right? It could even be food, honestly. Where are you using these as a crutch, and where is it preventing you from stepping into your destiny, stepping into your power, right? Saturn is all about authority and discipline, and he comes in and he's like, well, if you're drinking alcohol, you're not functioning at work at this level, this vibration that you should be at. And I think we're collectively going to keep seeing this movement over the next couple of years of people not drinking anymore, not desiring to escape their reality, but rather face it and step up and become more responsible, more disciplined, and move into a higher elevation of consciousness. So this is kind of exciting to see. Again, we're going to have to really face those endings in our life. What needs to be purged, removed, cleansed? What in our physical world, our belongings, friends, old things that's just been with us for the last 30 years that we're like, I'm done. Like, I don't want this stuff. I don't want this energy. I don't want this anymore. And Saturn may highlight some things that you thought were okay, but maybe they're not for you anymore. So that can be challenging, but also very freeing. And with that, there might be emotions. Remember, Pisces is a very emotional sign, and it forces us to kind of bring up those emotions to clear them out. So think of when you have a really good hard cry. It sucks in the moment, but when you're done crying, you feel so much lighter and you're ready to start a new chapter. So there might be a lot of old grief, a lot of old pain, a lot of things that we have to forgive. Remember, Jesus-like energy, so we're going to have to forgive, we're going to have to move on, and that's going to come in a very emotional way as Saturn starts to address these things, right? Show you the cracks in your life, like, hey, this brick is discolored and damaged, and until we like take these bricks off to get to that brick, that emotion, that thing that's like one of your foundational pillars of your life, if we don't take these bricks off and look at that one and remove it and clear it and, you know, forgive that someone put a crappy brick in your life, only then can we throw that brick out and plant a new brick, right? To make that foundation even stronger. So think of it in that like kind of energetic sense, if you need more of like a visual representation to understand this energy. Also, we can really expect our manifestations to come to fruition. Like I mentioned earlier, this is amazing. There's probably been so many things in our life that we've been dreaming of, that we've been wishing for, that we've been working hard on behind the scenes. Remember, Pisces rules behind the scenes, the things that people don't really acknowledge but exist anyways. So it's going to be beautiful to see the things that you've been working on for the last 30 years, dreams that you've had for a very long time. Saturn's going to come in and do the work. He is the planet of manifestation because he's the planet of getting shit done. So it's going to be beautiful to see a lot of people's dreams come to reality. But remember, he's going to show you the limitations as to why your manifestation is not coming. Where are you self-sabotaging? Where are your subconscious limiting beliefs preventing your manifestation? So there's going to be a lot of work around that for so many of us, believing it's for you, right? Maybe something's come to you, but you're like, oh no, that can't be for me, or I'm not good enough for that, or I'm not worthy of that. So these are going to be things that you're probably going to have to address as Saturn moves into this sign. And then you have the possibility of getting a manifestation to come true that you've been working on for so long. And again, if you know where Pisces is within your birth chart, you'll kind of get to see what area of life your manifestations are most likely to show up in. So we can go over that again in a personal reading. That, I know I shared a lot of information, but I think this is such an important energy for all of us to understand. So I hope this video was very helpful for you. Like and subscribe to this channel. Like I mentioned, I am going to be doing a video for the full moon in Virgo, the day Saturn moves into Pisces. I'm going to do a separate video on the Saturn return in Pisces and how this information I just shared is going to be more specific for you. And with that, I wish you a beautiful transit of Saturn into Pisces. And if you're going through your Saturn return in Pisces, I'm sending you so much love and light, and I'm here for you. I will catch you in the next video.